everybody, it's Miranda, and today I'm going to be doing a video on how I clean my makeup brushes. Now, I know there are several videos out there of how other people clean their makeup brushes, but I do know a lot of people who watch my channel, a lot of my friends and family, they don't know how to wash their makeup brushes, or they've never seen one of those videos. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I do it. So if you guys want to see how I do it, please keep watching. Okay, first of all, what you will need is some sort of washcloth, and what I'm using is this. I'm just laying that on the edge of my table over here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Just lay it on the edge of your table, and what you're going to do is when we get done with the brushes, we're going to hang them off this. And the reason why I use a piece of cloth underneath it is so that the brushes don't roll all around. So now, starting with our cleaning, it's going to depend on what type of cleaning you're doing to figure out what type of cleaner you need. Now, if you're doing everyday spot cleaning, you're just going to need some sort of brush cleaner. I like to use the MAC brush cleaner for this because it is a little bit more pricey. So I don't want to use this for the deep cleaning because I feel like you use more of it. And if you guys can, sometimes you can find the little squirters that come on the top of things that you can fit to the top of this lid, and if the bottom part's too long, you can like the little tube, you can always cut that off. But first of all, I'll show you guys how I do my spot cleaning. Okay, now it's always a good idea to keep some paper towels down in your cabinet in your bathroom. That's what I do. So what you want to do is take a piece of paper towel, and what I do is I fold it all the way up until it's a small square. And then I'll show you guys the brush I'm going to spot clean because it's obvious. It's this little the Sigma brush. You guys can see there's quite a bit of stuff on it. And basically, all you're going to do is take your paper towel, take some of the MAC brush cleaner, and put a little bit on there. You don't want to do too much. And with this type of brush, you're just going to kind of swirl it around. But you don't want to put too much pressure on it, otherwise it can damage your brush. So all you're going to do, and you guys can see all the color that's coming out of it, is just swirl it around like that. And if this area gets a little bit too saturated, all you do is you flip it over. You guys can see some of the cleanser leak through, and you just continue on that side. So this is what spot cleaning looks like. You can see it didn't get it perfectly white, but that's because it's just spot cleaning. And basically, I only use this, do the spot cleaning method if I'm using like a black and then I want to apply like a light brown with this brush or something like that. But I will tell you, I know some people say that they use the MAC cleaner and then a few seconds later it's fine, it's good to go, and really it's not. It takes a few minutes for it to dry. So if you are spot cleaning, don't expect it to be ready for you to use in like 30 seconds. Although it is an alcohol-based cleanser, meaning that the liquids will evaporate a little quicker, that does not mean it's going to dry quite as fast as you want it to. It's still a little bit damp right now. So what I do is, when I get done with the brushes, I hang them off the end of my counter, and that reason, when you hang them off the end of the counter, that gets the air to circulate all the way around it. If you guys put it back, you don't want to put it back in your brush holder, because if you have it sitting like this, any water is going to seep down into this metal area and get to the area where the wood is, and that's going to break apart the bristles, and it's going to totally ruin your brush. You don't want to lay it flat down like that on a piece of towel, because this bottom side is not going to have any chance to dry. So you want to hang it off the end so air can get all the way around it. So that's how I do my spot cleaning. Now I'll show you guys how I do my deep cleaning, and I'm going to be using my foundation brush as an example for this. And what I do for this is I just turn the water on to a lukewarm water and just get it a little wet. And you want to make sure you keep your brush pointed down the whole time, and you don't want to let the water go up any higher than this silver area here. So you can see I just got it a little wet. And now what I'm going to do is use a mild, very, very mild shampoo. And the best shampoo you can use for cleaning your brushes is any of the baby shampoos, because those ones are going to be the most gentle. You definitely do not want to use regular shampoo for this. I suggest any sort of baby shampoo, whether you like the Aveeno, the lavender scented baby shampoo, whichever one it is. What you want to do is just get a little bit of water in your hand, like this, and then pour a little bit of the baby shampoo in there. And then what you're going to do is take your brush, and with a brush like this, you don't want to go in circles, you just want to blot it down like this. You want to kind of stay in the same direction that the bristles go. So like if you're doing this sort of brush, you're going to want to pat it like this, or any sort of like eyeshadow shader brush. you're going to want to do it like this, and then like a powder brush or a blush brush, any of those, you can swirl around a little bit more. And you guys can see all of the stuff that's coming out of this brush. Now, sometimes you will need to double cleanse these, especially for like foundation brushes, because they hold on to so much of the makeup. So just get it going a little bit and then give it a rinse. And I can see that there's a little bit more in there still, so I'm just going to add a little bit more cleanser to it. And you just keep working it until you can get the water running clear through it. Okay, that looks about good. Okay, so then when you get your brush all the way cleaned, you want to go ahead and squeeze it out. And then you want to take the brush and you want to shape it back into the shape it originally was in. Like that. And then you just want to go ahead and lay it over the side of the counter. So those are examples of how I do my deep cleaning. I'll do one more deep cleaning just to kind of show you guys. I'll use my blush brush here because you can see it's quite dirty. So I'm going to go ahead and get this wet. Put a little bit of water in my hand. And then the soap. And when I do the face brushes, typically I wash all of these ones by themselves. And then with this blush brush, because it's not circular, it's more on an angle, I'm just going to go side to side rather than in circles. But you guys will see when I do face brushes, I typically wash them by themselves. When I'm doing like my eye brushes, I'll do more than one at a time. So just keep going back and forth. And I like to kind of squeeze it up in here a little bit. And then go ahead and rinse. Now you guys will find that with any white brush there will be a little bit of staining, so just so you know. Okay, so I got done with that one. I'm putting it back into its shape that it came in. And voila, clean brush. It's really simple. You guys want to make sure you're deep cleaning your brushes at least once a week. If not, if you want to go a little bit, you can go like a week and a half to 2 weeks. But especially with your face brushes, you'll have all of the like oils in your skin building up, and that's just not good. You don't want to do that. Okay, so now the third way I clean a brush is I'll show it with this one because this is the brush I use for, I use it with like the paint pots, but you're going to want to use this method for like any sort of like eyeliner brushes. So here's one of my eyeliner brushes, but you can see it's already clean. When you use that sort of brush, or when you use an angle brush to put on your gel eyeliner, you're going to want to use this method, and it's baby oil. I like to use baby oil because it's a little bit more gentle, but use any sort of oil with this. You can use olive oil, canola oil, any oil you have in the kitchen will work. And basically, when it comes to breaking down gel eyeliner, it's an oil, it's a very thick oil, and it's really hard to get it completely out when you're deep cleaning it. And oils break down oils, so if you're putting the oil product onto the oil-soaked eyeliner brush, it's going to break it down a lot easier. So I'll just show you guys what I do for this. I don't get my hand wet. I just pour a little bit of the baby oil into my hand and then just brush away. And the oil's going to break down whatever's in your brush a lot easier than the shampoo is going to. So just go ahead and rub it back and forth. Like that, just to get it kind of cleaned out, and then just give it a rinse. When I do this, you guys can see it's nice and clean. What I like to do though, because I use oil on it, I do like to go ahead and just run the baby shampoo through it just to make sure it got any, it gets out any of the oils, just because I don't want to be putting any extra oils on my skin. So I just give it a quick little wash like that. And there you go, you have a nice clean brush. Okay, so those were my 3 different ways I clean my brushes. Hopefully you guys learned something. Make sure definitely cleaning your brushes at least every week and a half to 2 weeks because you don't want to ruin your brushes and you don't want to be building gunk up on them so it makes your face break out and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it for right now, and I will see you guys in my next video.